And then on the other side, we have the private Western Central Bank who wants complete and utter full control of the entire system. They don't want the system they have today. They want to take us to the next level. The next level is their digital currency. Yes, they're using cryptocurrency to push off of to get everyone into their digital currency. This is why they've been bad-mouthing. This is why they've been telling everyone that criminals use cryptocurrency. It's very volatile. Nobody uses gold. Nobody uses silver. They don't want people looking at alternative currencies. They only want people looking at their system. Why? Because their next system is going to have nothing to do with the actual economy. They're going to mimic what China is doing, but 10 times worse. This is why we saw the elite, and this was just a couple of days ago on the report, where they said, we wish we had a system like China, a financial system. What does that mean? Well, think about it. We mentioned this before. If the central bank succeeds, which I don't think they're going to succeed, but if they do succeed with their digital currency, they will have total control. Just imagine the next time you get a mortgage for your home, you wouldn't go down to your local Wells Fargo branch or Bank of America or Citibank or whatever. You would go directly to the Fed. They would determine whether or not you get the loan and what the interest rate would be. Therefore, you can control the amount of dollars in the system. Another reason this is so important for people to understand is right now, the amount of lending in the system is constrained by the amount of individuals or entities in the system that actually pay back the loans. Commercial banks are constrained by profit and loss. The Fed is not constrained by profit and loss. So they wouldn't have to use a credit score. What else would they use? Well, I do believe they would like to use something called the social score, the social credit score. The same thing that China is doing right now. This way, they can determine who you are and what you believe in. Now, remember, they could look at this and say, oh, wait, this is a person that does not like this type of groups. Well, this person who's been on social media, they were banned on this because they violated terms of service. This is what they can do. And they can shut down your account or not approve you or do whatever at a push of a button. You think it's bad today with big tech censoring people? You think it's bad today with PayPal shutting down accounts? Well, if the private Western Central Bank, if they get their way with the Great Reset, things are going to get a lot worse. And this is why I do believe in the post, Hughes mentioned how gold is going to destroy the Fed. And I believe there's going to be other things that are going to take place. Right now, we can see that the central bankers, they hate gold, they hate silver, they do not like cryptocurrency, anything that challenges their system. Now, what's very interesting is we know that there are certain banks that are already looking at this saying, okay, we need to start offering this to people because we see what the people are pushing right now. There are other banks that are still holding steadfast saying, absolutely not. We're going to ban you, and they're using the words, protect you from losing your currency. But I think in the end, once these institutions realize the people are no longer going along with them and they're actually transitioning using other methods. Now, let's talk about investing. Now, we've been hearing a lot about inflation, how you don't have to worry. But last month, the inflation rate in the U.S. had the highest rise for 29 years. You heard that right, 29 years, 1992. That's a big, big problem for all of us with food and gas and everything else that's going up. But it's terrible if you're planning on retiring anytime soon. You need to put up an inflation dam to stop your savings and assets from eroding in value. Noble Gold's expertise in retirement planning and IRAs means their team of specialists is your first stop. Call them about this month's offer of a 1-ounce American Eagle Pure Silver Proof Coin with an IRA or 401k. He said Bitcoin is the most amazing mathematical miracle. What does he mean by that? I do believe that all these individuals that are looking at cryptocurrency right now, they're seeing the benefit. Remember, it's decentralized. The central bankers, they really can't control it. They don't produce it. They don't have the ability to control who gets it, who doesn't get it. And it's very difficult to find out where the funds are actually going. Yes, there's a public key, but there's also a private key. Yes, they can get a warrant and go to the exchanges and find the public key because the exchanges gave it to them and then try to track it down. But those individuals that don't have their public key with the exchanges because they really have they own the public key, it's very, very difficult to track down. And if you don't have the private key, you can't get those funds at all. So this is why the private Western Central Bank does not like cryptocurrency. They don't like gold and silver. Yes, they'll use gold and silver to push their agenda. See, they hide behind gold and silver because they know that people around the world, they understand that gold and silver, they're a confidence builder. And when their system completely falls apart, they know they're going to need something to build confidence. And they use it to trick people because in the end, their entire mission is to come off of gold and silver. Just like back in 1913. 1913, the central bank, the Federal Reserve, came into existence. We were still on the gold standard. And it took all the way up to 71 for the private Western Central Bank to say, okay, now we're coming off the gold standard. They're very patient. See, they have control of the system because what they do during this period of time as they're pegged to gold, they still put nations into debt. They still control nations. They still have the ability to do that. And then they wait and they wait, and then all of a sudden they make their move. This is what they do so no one realizes what's going on. Today, the battle is a little different. Today, people don't actually have to have physical gold. Yes, I think it's a great idea to have physical gold. I think in the end, the system will be physical gold and cryptocurrency, and you can trade them back and forth because the price of both will probably be very, very close to each other. And I think what's going to happen is that since we have an alternative electronic currency, the central banks are going to be in quite a bit of trouble. This is why they're trying so hard to push their digital currency. This is why they're trying to make their case right now. And like we said just yesterday, I do believe they're going to try to push their next event. We know there's simulations going on that have to do with supply chains. And yes, this is to bring us into the green agenda. Yes, this is to bring us into the Great Reset. But they have to show everyone that the economic system that we're in today, the supply chains, they just don't operate well. Because if there's a cyber attack, look what happens. Look what happened with Colonial Pipeline. As soon as that happened, what did they mention? Did they mention, oh, is everyone okay? Oh, we have alternatives to get oil? No, they said, hey, if you're driving an electric car, you wouldn't have this problem. And that came from the energy secretary who said that. So their agenda, their entire push is to bring us into their new system. Now, yes, there's many different agendas that they can use with this supply chain cyber attack. But I do believe this is what they're going to be going after. I think it's going to be probably, most likely, like we've been seeing, in the food area and in the energy area. And I do believe this is what they're going to do. Now, people are probably thinking to themselves, well, why would they attack the electrical grid? Remember, the electrical grid, most of it is powered by coal. So, yes, they're going to want to hit that too. And does that mean they're going to black out the entire country? No. They're going to do one-offs to scare, to put fear into the people. That's what they're going to do, just like they did with the Colonial Pipeline, with the meat processing place. They're going to do the same exact thing. but I think they're going to start to ramp it up. Now, we know that the private Western Central Bank and the deep state players, they just don't use one event just for one thing. They use it for many others. And I think they're going to try to scare the people into moving into their system. But I do believe that the people are starting to wake up and people are starting to talk about what's actually going on. Actually, there was an interview with Stansberry Research where they discussed what we just discussed about the central bank digital currency. So people are discussing it. People are questioning it, and people are saying this is something that we don't want. So I do believe the people, they're waking up. Think about all the people that are holding cryptocurrency. They're not going in and out like the stock market. They're not day trading cryptocurrency. Think about the number of people that are just holding cryptocurrency, who are acquiring more and more. Same thing with gold and silver. There's a reason for that, because those people who understand what's going on, they're preparing for what is coming. We know in the end, the private Western Central Bank, their fiat system, will no longer exist the way we know it today. And as inflation starts to hit and people start to see exactly how this system is imploding, people are going to start to wake up even further. And we're going to see more people ask questions of why this is happening. And people are going to dig and research. Remember, the Great Awakening is not just political. It's not just finding out that it's fake news. We're going to find out a lot of this, including the economy, has been fake. Remember, we're in a central bank illusion. They created this. This is their economy. They shaped it to the way they wanted it and they needed it. This is not something the people wanted. And once we break out of this, we're going to see a completely different world. We're going to see a world where there's hardly any debt, where the value of the currency, it holds. It doesn't devalue as time goes on, as the central bank continually creates more of it. And we're going to see a population that prospers. The only reason we're in the predicament we're in today is because of the private Western Central Bank. It breeds corruption. Their system doesn't work. In the end, it separates the people, the top people, the very poor people, and then their system implodes. And they try to bring us into another system. This has been going on for thousands upon thousands of years. Remember, in the United States, this is the third private Western Central Bank. 2 of them were removed. One because the charter ran out, and the other one, Andrew Jackson, he got rid of it. And I do believe this third one, it's going to be removed by the Patriots. Listen, everyone, thanks a lot for listening. Be well, be safe, and especially be prepared.